So you've got to be flexible in that you can't just walk out the door at 5 o'clock and say, oh well, tough. You've got to do, handle the job, maybe work over the weekend if necessary. And we also get a lot of clients that send us documents. We get them done in a very short space of time, and then they come back to us and say, actually we've changed half the English, and they want it back almost immediately. So it's just, you've got to understand or try and be flexible for clients. And if you want to walk out the door at 5 o'clock every evening, then I'd say that it's maybe not the job for you.
Intelligence is the next one. I tossed on this report. It's a mature, we need a certain amount of maturity and resourcefulness, but intelligence as well. You need a good general knowledge, really, not only of languages, but of geography, subjects, current affairs. The jobs that we're getting can cover any kind of topic, and you might, it's good that you can kind of have an understanding with the person that's on the phone who might be developing a new product or have an emergency situation. So a certain amount of intelligence and maturity is useful, as well as the other skills that we're going to go through. It's good if you can remember client projects as well. If you've had a track record with a particular type of client or a particular type of industry, and you get another client, it's matching them together and thinking, yeah, we've done a project like that, even if it was in valve processing or something like that. It's good if you can build up a knowledge base. Also, you need to be able to give clients advice. You'd be surprised at how little knowledge some of our clients have when they phone us up. A little knowledge about language or about the translation process in general. They might spend 6 months writing a detailed brochure in English and really think it's a matter of pressing a button to get it translated into another language. Or they might say, well, we've had it done on the internet on Babelfish, and could you just check it over for me? But the level of knowledge does vary between clients, so you need to be able to adapt your style between. And also marketing speak as well. You need to be wise enough to be able to advise clients on what will translate well and what won't translate well, and sometimes a play on words, it's not possible to translate it effectively.
Okay, communication is also a very important skill when it comes to project management. First of all, because you'll be dealing with a client in the first instance, who could be a secretary, it could be the CEO of a company, and it could be a technical engineer who wants something translated. And obviously you have to communicate as effectively as possible with that person. And as Liz said, a lot of people don't actually know some of the key aspects that you need to find out from them. You need to find out who the document's aimed at, who the translation is actually geared towards. Sometimes people just don't know. If you're trying to find out if they've got any previous material that you can use as reference, people don't know. they just ask you, they want you to do it. So it's trying to coax that information out of them. Likewise, if you're trying to find out about formatting, if there's any DTP involved, sometimes it's like trying to get blood out of the stone, to be honest. And sometimes you have to actually go to their printers, you have to go to different people they deal with and actually get that information yourself, so go an extra mile for them. And then you've got to pass those instructions on to different translators, pass any glossaries on, any style guides, and make sure that the translator knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing. If there's certain terms that need to be left in English or translated in a certain way, you need to communicate that to the translator. And if you're getting the translation copy edited by a separate translator afterwards, we've found, I think translators are quite proud of their work, and if somebody changes some of their translation, you send it back to them to ask for their opinion. Often it can lead to a bit of a row, really. So you've got to be quite tactful in dealing with translators, I would suggest. And then obviously sometimes you need to deal with different types of people, like that maybe work in a studio if you're dealing with artwork files, web designers if you're dealing with a website job. So you do have to be able to communicate at all levels with all different people.